Hey, what's up guys? So there's a new update that's now available for the ALP, actually a new laser jammer head that's designed specifically to help jam the DragonEye. This is helpful both in the front and especially for those of you guys who encounter DragonEye in the rear.
Interference detection. Only DragonEye behind.
Now, as you guys know, the DragonEye is a difficult to jam laser gun. It's got some special anti-jamming technology built in. So far, we've seen these guns in use here in the US in 9 different states, and in Canada, they've been spotted so far in 4 different provinces. Now, there's only 3 laser jammers, the ALP, the Stinger VIP, and the new Max CI, which are able to handle the DragonEye guns. The ALP currently does it the best. Now, there's actually a new update available that helps ALP do it even better. Now, in order to jam normal guns with the ALP, typically you just need 2 heads, kind of on the left and the right side of the vehicle to cover the whole vehicle. On larger vehicles, maybe you'll want 3 heads just because of larger surface area. When you're encountering the DragonEye, because the jammer does have to do some more sophisticated jamming stuff, the heads actually operate independently, so sometimes they're actually jamming, sometimes they're receiving signals, so the heads actually do different things. In any event, in order to jam the DragonEye, you typically need 3 heads per side. It's a little bit different than the older guns. One of the limitations with the ALP is that it only supports actually 5 heads total, 3 in the front and 2 in the back. So for those of you guys who want to be able to jam the DragonEye completely, especially if you're encountering it in the rear, you would typically want 3 heads on the front and 3 heads in the back. Now the ALP only supports 5 heads, so what you could do is, just say, all right, fine, 3 in the front, 2 in the back, and that would work. Some people, if they encounter a lot of rear DragonEye, would actually flip it and do 3 in the back and 2 in the front. And ALP actually has a voice pack that switches when it says front and rear to adjust this accordingly. Some people will actually buy 2 separate systems to do 3 in the front and 3 in the back. That's kind of pricey, and then you have 2 control modules and all this kind of stuff, right? So ALP has actually been working on a couple different solutions to allow for 1 CPU, 3 heads in the front, and 3 heads in the back. And they've been wanting to do it in a way where you don't have to, swap and get brand new hardware or run new cabling, right? They've come up with a solution now that allows you to use your existing hardware, your existing cabling that you've already run through your car, and now plug a 6th head into the ALP in a system that only supports 5 heads. The way that you actually do this is, the rear only supports 2 heads, and you've got 2 cables running back there. So one of the cables is actually going to now be connected with the splitter, and then the 2 normal heads are going to plug into the splitter. Then the new transmitter head is going to be plugging into that other cable. There's some details to know as far as those of you guys who actually want to get one of these, and so without going too much into detail regarding the CPUs and the different cabling and the wiring and what port you plug into, I'm going to cover all of that stuff in an article on my website. So for those of you guys who want to get one, definitely take a look at that, because there are some things that you need to know regarding placement and cabling and things like you need a GPS antenna because the system only works when you're at speed. It doesn't work when you're stationary. So there are some details that you need to know. So again, take a look at the link in the video description, article on my website for more information for those of you guys who want to get them. But in any event, this head is actually a little bit different than the standard head. The idea is a normal ALP head has 4 laser receivers built into it. That's actually what's behind the little bubble on the ALP head. And then on the other side of the head, there's 1 laser transmitter. So 4 receivers, 1 transmitter. The new transmitter head is much smaller than the traditional ALP head. It doesn't have the same hardware under the hood. There's 0 receivers in the transmitter head and 3 transmitters. So not 1, but 3 different transmitters. The transmitter heads are actually oriented, 2 of them are horizontal, just like the standard ALP ones, and then 1 is actually vertically oriented, which helps with overpass protection, or if you go into potholes, things like that. So it's nice, you actually have a larger coverage area. Anyways, the heads do function differently, they're designed differently, and they are physically smaller than the traditional ALP heads. Now, in order to jam the DragonEye, if you want a complete setup, the way that it's going to work is 2 normal heads in the front and 1 transmitter head in the middle. If you want to also do it in the back, you'll have 2 regular heads in the rear and then 1 transmitter head in the center. Again, check the link in my video description for my article. There's some details regarding the transmitter head should be more than 20 inches above the ground to help minimize reflections off the road, things like that. So there are some important things to know regarding placement, and on the forums people are actually testing all sorts of different placement options on different cars to see what works best, what the compromises are for different placements. So there's a lot of testing that's being done, but ALP actually on their website has some really good information about where you should actually place the heads for different types of cars. There's even things where you can get away with maybe one normal head and one transmitter head on smaller cars, which is kind of cool. So again, definitely take a look at the links in the video description where I go into more detail regarding placement, wiring, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, right? But anyways, new transmitter head, very effective against the ALP, allows you to run 6 heads if you want, instead of just 5, running off of one CPU and using your existing cabling. So awesome stuff. This is looking very promising here for the ALP. It's pretty much taken the most effective jammer against the DragonEye and then just kind of leveled it up above and beyond where it already is. So definitely impressive stuff by ALP. For those of you guys who want to go ahead and get one of the heads, the price for the normal heads is $249. For the transmitter heads, it's $349. So it's $100 more for the transmitter head. So again, if you don't encounter the DragonEye, you don't necessarily need to spend the extra money unless maybe you want that third head and you've got a large SUV or something and you want extra protection in the rear, right? Otherwise, if you just encounter normal guns, which is actually the majority of the country, 3 normal heads is just fine. That's the way to go. Save the $100 and you're good to go. But if you encounter the DragonEye or you want that extra head in the rear, definitely go ahead and pick up the new transmitter head. So anyways, just a quick video for you to give you a little bit of information about it, how it works, what it does, and what it's used for. So good job, ALP. The heads are now shipping, they're now available, and you can go ahead and pick one up and link in the video description to where you can grab one as well. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.